This is the Rec Center Show. I'm Keith Breitbach sitting in for Ron Capriotti this morning. And in the studio we have Stephen Erno, General Manager, and Kasey Huhta, Recreations Manager. Welcome to the studio.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Nice.
Never a dull day, never a dull week or month or year in Sun City West, right? We have all kinds of activity happening. I think the one that jumps out at me on the calendar is this upcoming election.
Yeah, so it's definitely, Keith, to your point, it's that time of year. A lot of things happening right now. It's a busy time for us, a lot of activities. All the snowbirds are back in town, so it really is the peak of the season right now. And then, yeah, on top of it, to your point, we have the governing board election coming up as well. So that's going to be an important time at the end of this month here.
And an interesting situation there. You've got 4 candidates, 4 positions, but it really makes a difference, though. The vote really is important, determining who gets a full term versus that 1-year term. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Stephen?
Yeah, so to your point, basically somebody say, well, hey, there's 4 candidates, 4 positions. Why even have an election? Well, what you just mentioned is that what matters is the highest vote getters are the ones that will get the 3-year term, and then there'll be the 1-year term will be the ones that get the one person that gets the lowest count. So it is important that you pay attention to who the candidates are. There's the videos online if you want to go on and watch their bios online. And then they also are going to have a candidate forum coming up as well. So that's something that you want to tune into and attend if you'd like to know more about them.
So they can attend the candidate forum live. Is it also recorded where somebody could then go on to YouTube and watch that later?
Yeah, so that'll be available to watch online later as well. But it's something that I think is a great way for folks to kind of get to know who the candidates are and know a little bit more about them and watch their responses to the different questions. And last I know, at least Ron was still the one, Capriotti was going to be the one facilitating that discussion with them. Did a great job last year, I know that. So folks definitely want to, like I said, they can't make it there on person, certainly want to come and watch that online later. Again, because it does matter how your vote goes and which votes that you put in as far as the highest vote getter.
And then there's a meet and greet on Wednesday, March 18th.
Yeah, so those are both great opportunities to kind of get to know those candidates and find out what their views are, the different things, everything from just how things are managed as far as the different facilities and what the member dues come out to be and the different things that are important to the community, what they'd like to see. So a great way to find out if what those candidates, their views on that, if they align with your views and can help you make an informed decision when you come to make that vote.
And I just want to clarify, too, the meet and greet is Wednesday, March 18th, 6 p.m. at Palm Ridge.
There you go.
And that's a great one-on-one where you can go and actually ask the candidates up close and personal questions that may be on your mind or important to you.
Yeah.
And how important, as a general manager and manager of the rec centers, like engaging with the board, is that an ongoing daily activity for you?
Well, for me it is. I work at the pleasure of the board, so I do engage with the governing board on a regular basis. The actual elections themselves, I stay far removed from that. That is not anything that I get involved with, and I'm happy to work with whomever is elected for whatever terms they're elected in this situation. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, that's literally my job, is to interact with the board on a regular basis and manage the different needs and desires and expectations that come from the board. But a couple of things, too, I'm not sure if you want to mention about the deadlines coming up.
Sure, let's hear those.
So we do have a March 16th deadline. That's when you need to make sure that you have a valid email address on file if you want to vote online. And then the actual election day, if you choose to vote in person, is on March 30th. So again, if you want to do it online, make sure you get your email situated. But if you don't get it done in time, then certainly you can still vote in person.
Excellent. Yeah. Make sure it's like registering to vote, right? Make
exactly.
sure you are, in the system and you're able to cast that vote. How many people typically vote in an election?
Yeah, we usually get a few thousand. So I believe last year was around 6,000 people. It sort of just depends on what's on the ballot. And again, in addition to the candidates, we do also have some bylaw change, and that's related to the whole election process, shortening that process a little bit. So folks want to read up on that as well. So that may draw more people out. I don't know. We'll see. But depending on what the issues that are on the ballot and the amount of people on the ballot, things like that will kind of vary. But anywhere probably from 3,000 to 6,000 is a typical turnout.
Yeah, it's important for people to really know what's happening, where their money is going, how the systems are being operated. So definitely definitely important for people to be engaged, just as they would voting in a presidential election, right?
Sure.
The government doesn't get much closer than the governing board of Sun City West.
Yeah, without a local government, the Recreation Center's governing board is about as close as you can get to that. But so it does matter as far as how, to your point, how member dues are spent and how things are shaped in the future. That's what their role is, really. The governing board is to be shaping the future of the organization and the community. So it does matter. Yeah.
Are there any other sort of pressing issues that you're working on currently that you want to let people know about or give them updates on certain things like that pool deck?
Yeah, so thank you. That's actually, so on March 13th at 9 a.m., that's going to be the next governing board workshop. And I would encourage folks, if they're interested, to come out and attend that one. So a couple of big items on that agenda. First of all, we're going to be looking at to your point, the pool deck. So that's been a big topic. We're going to be presenting some different options to the governing board of some potential resolutions to those issues out there and get some direction from the governing board on that. And then also it'll be the first time that we present to the governing board. We have presented already to the Budget and Finance, but it'll be the first time we present to the governing board the next fiscal year budget, which does also include options for funding master plan projects. So the whole idea is that, we're doing this master plan. You're going to have, there's going to be projects going to come out of it, but you got to plan for those projects and funding for that. Otherwise, you've just essentially created a very expensive book to put on the shelf if you don't do anything with it. So that's going to be giving them some opportunities to look at ways that we can start putting money into the reserve fund specifically for master plan projects.
In that master plan, there's a lot of work seems to be happening around that. I think I just saw an article about a survey, master plan survey that's going to be going out, and not to everybody.
Well, it will eventually. So initially it'll go out to, because in order for us to be statistically valid, what they do is first put it out to verified addresses of folks that we know for sure are member owners in the community. And then once the collections of those responses have come in, then it will be open to everybody. But in order to make it statistically valid, there's a process that's involved with that. So when that goes out, I absolutely encourage folks to get involved and take that, as well as I'm encouraging folks to go on the master plan website, engage in the different tools on there, attend any of these pop-up events or other opportunities to engage. There's a lot of them.
In that master plan survey, it's essentially like a poll.
Yep.
And 500, 600 to make it statistically valid. And that's going to come in the physical mail delivered. So keep an eye out for that in your mailbox. Fill that out and return it. Yeah,
I believe actually there's going to be a way it's going to give them an opportunity to do it electronically still, but it's going to be sent to them specifically. But yeah, and that's, that survey is just another tool of all the different tools in the toolbox that the consultants are using to gather information and feedback as to shape the community going forward. So certainly an important one, but again, it's also just one of many, including those other options I just listed, the website and all that. So.
You're listening to the Rec Center Show on 103.1 KSCW. I'm Keith Breitbach, sitting in for Ron Capriotti this fine day. And we've got in the studio General Manager Stephen Erno and Kasey Huhta. Kasey, you're busy over at the Rec Center, aren't you?
I am.
Every day?
Every day, yeah.
And what kind of fun activities are on the calendar?
Yeah, we just finished, obviously, February. So we finished our Top Hat series over at Palm Ridge. That went very, very well this season. And this week is our last cabaret, and that is sold out. So we've had pretty successful concerts over at Palm Ridge. We do have our Spring Fest coming up, which is at Beardsley Park. There's still tickets available. That is going to be Americana and then Amarillo by Morning, which obviously is a George Strait tribute. Tickets are available for that. We also have our St. Patrick's Day concert coming up that usually always sells out, and it is almost sold out. So if that interests you, we have that available. And then we have our Food Truck Festival, April 1st, and that's over at Beardsley Park. That one was very successful. It was the first time we ever did it last year. We are going to be a lot more prepared with our food trucks than we were last year because it was very overwhelming in a positive light. But again, we have Thaddeus Rose Band. That's going to be the entertainer. And then Dawson and Tolliver will be actually opening up for them.
How do you keep track of it all?
Well, I haven't even gone
Oh,
through it
boy.
all yet. But yeah,
right.
no.
Well, but wait, there's
Oh,
more,
there's
of
more.
course. And that's what makes Sun City West such a
Yeah.
fabulous place to live and play. And some
Yeah.
of us actually work too, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
scheduling around and being able to fit into people's calendars, weekdays, weekends. Let's go back, talk about Springfest.
Sure.
What are the dates on that? And what kind of cost are we talking about? for
It's
people?
March 12th. That's going to be Americana. And then March 13th is followed by the next day is Amarillo by Morning. They are 36 tickets for the package, so you can get both. And then you bring your own chair and you keep your chair there overnight. Or for individual, if you just want one of those shows, it's $22 a person.
Okay.
We'll have food to purchase there as well from AZ Barbecue, and he has fantastic food. If you haven't had it, usually he's always at our Munchie Mondays.
Munchie Mondays and the Irish. You had me on. Is that on St. Patrick's Day, or tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so for that one, we try to keep it in the afternoon because we know a lot of our chartered clubs like to have their St. Patrick's Day events. So we kick it off for them maybe a little bit. It starts at noon. Obviously, it is on March 17th. Doors open at 11:30, and it's just something fun for everybody. Just kind of enjoy some like Celtic music, but upbeat, not too low key. Yeah.
Well, I want to hear Guinness.
You want to hear Guinness?
I want to, tell me about the Guinness that's going to be poured. All right. So what else, fun activities, obviously, what else is on the horizon that you want to share?
Sure. That was a lot of our paid events that I went over. We have tons of free events that we have as well over at Kuntz in the courtyard. We have the Talent Spotlight. So we have Wild Rose Country, Swingin' Gypsy, Country Crossing, and Lauren Erickson. So those are some upcoming that we have available. Then we also have our March movies, and those are both at Kuntz.
Let's talk about those free events. I always say if it's for free, it's for me. So on those, are these being sponsored and put on by the rec center,
Yes.
not some specific club?
Nope, it's by the rec centers.
Okay. And let's talk a little bit about the Talent Spotlight. What does that consist of? Is it what kind of talents are we talking? Is this like the old Gong Show? Or I'm predating you on the Gong Show, aren't I?
Sorry.
Look it up on YouTube. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But like, what kind of talents? Spinning plates, or what are we doing? Juggling?
No, it is all musical. It is at the courtyard, so it's in that area where it has the trees that kind of oversee the whole courtyard. You just show up. We have popcorn and water available for purchase, and it's just a lot of our community has a lot of talent here, and that's who we promote for this particular series. And it is every single month, so there is a free concert every single week during the year for Talent Spotlight.
Well, thank you for that incredible effort putting these together, I'm sure. And they're pretty well attended. Yeah,
they are. Tia Woolley, who runs the theater, is actually the one that coordinates this, as well as maintains the movies.
Let's talk about the movies. Is there a fee to get in, or are they free as well? And what's on the playlist?
Yeah, they are free. Again, there's popcorn and water available for purchase. You just show up. You can purchase your tickets online for free. Or you can, if there is still availability, you can walk right in and we'll get you seated. For March, we have The Dark Tower, March 5th, Reservoir Dogs, March 19th, Lost City, March 20th, and Chaos Theory, I know went a little out of order, is March 6th. So we do have matinees and we do have evening availability as well.
I may be dating myself too. The only one I recognize is the Reservoir Dogs.
Maybe. We are really trying to capture audience right now because in the past, before we took this over, Friends of the Library was doing this, and we had a different licensing agreement. So now we have a newer, updated licensing agreement. So we have a lot more opportunities, newer movies. Like we just played, we played Blazing Saddles last month, which is, obviously going to be a little bit older. But then we also played Ace Ventura. So all over the map. It's
a great reminder. I've got to log on and be paying attention. I would have loved to have gone seen Blazing Saddles on the big screen. That would have been a fun one for sure.
It was we had really good feedback from that people really enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. And again, what times are the movies? Is it you have matinees and you have evening performances?
Yep, the evening performances are 6 p.m. and the matinees are at 1 p.m. So Thursdays are evenings, Fridays are 1. But you can get all of this. We have it posted in the e-news. It's in the rec news. You can see it online at suncitywest.com. So, and we have posters all over the place.
And of course, we've got spring break right now. What's happening there?
Yeah, our PR team kind of put a lot of stuff together. My team and I are actually more focusing on the pool on Tuesday, Thursdays. It's going to start pretty much this week, but really it's going to hit up in about 2 weeks. But we're going to have Yacht Rock playing on Tuesdays and Thursdays during kid hours. We'll have Red Hot Clowns on March 24th, and then we'll also have some additional activities come and go throughout that time. And then you'll see some dinosaurs roaming around. I believe Steven did a little interview with them last week, so I'm not sure when that's going to open up for the community to see, but that should be pretty fun.
Yeah, we realize that T-Rexes don't do very well when it comes to playing checkers. They have a hard time reaching the pieces. So.
Do they have opposable thumbs? I'm not sure. It's yeah. All right. So never, like I said at the start, never a dull day, never a dull week, year, month in Sun City West. What else is going on?
Yeah. Last but not least, I really want to kind of get the information out there about our craft fair that we have coming. It's going to be held here at R.H. Johnson out on the parking lot. You should be able to see it when we start setting up, but it is March 28th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have food vendors, AZ Barbecue, the Blistered Tortilla, Higher Grind, which is coffee, Miyamori, Wood-Fired Pizza. Our own Pavilion Grill will be there as well with her sweet treats. And then We Be Poppin', which is obviously popcorn. And then we'll have live music as well throughout the whole time with Ben Bolt and John Case. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a big event.
Sign me up. And if other people want to make sure they don't miss out on anything, what's the website they should go to?
We have QR codes throughout the whole community, so we do have posters up and around. It is suncitywest.com/craft fair.
You got it. And those QR codes, just open your phone typically, you put on the camera and you've pointed at the QR code and the link will pop up. You know, the technology, here we are, 2026. Yeah. That's amazing. All right, Stephen Erno, General Manager, and Kasey Huhta, Recreations Manager, Sun City West. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Keith Breitbach, sitting in for Ron Capriotti on the Rec Center Show. This is 103.1 KSCW. Thanks for listening.